Welcome to the Overly Opinionated Podcast. Rest in peace to fallen kings, queens, and in-betweens.
And free to guys.
Nah, special free to guys.
Facts.
Special?
Special free to guys. Well, we just talked to the guys.
Well, yeah, that's true. Free guys.
And Trump about to get locked up, so free him too. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. Fuck him.
No, he definitely about to go to jail.
Probably
Y'all
not.
think so?
No, he got money. Nope.
No, I don't know.
I don't even think they're going to arrest him.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that I've been keeping up with it or anything, but
I just seen something where he was supposed to turn himself in.
They say Tuesday tomorrow. I think he is, but
sure. I don't know what that means. But all right. This is going to be a rare moment here where I say Mom and any of my other loved ones that don't want to hear straight vulgar sexualness, you might want to fast forward a few 20 minutes there. Y'all got a favorite titty?
when you asked me that the first time, I was going to say no. But now I think I do. Yeah, right one. Now, not me facing her the right side, her right one.
Yeah. It's lefty for me.
You don't have one? And I don't think they're ever the same, are they?
What you mean?
Both titties are never the same.
I can't say never.
I feel like I can't really answer this question better as good as y'all can.
Why can't you?
I don't have general titties to suck on.
Yeah.
to have a favorite.
That's
when
the saddest I ever heard you say.
Is it
rewinding.
Is it even fair to ask when you did? Was there a favorite?
No, I didn't. But even then, we not rewinding.
Right, yeah. Yeah, fuck them titties.
Fuck them titties.
No, we ain't got to say fuck them titties. But, you know.
Yeah, all right, don't fuck them titties. Like, I don't know what you want me to do here.
Wherever them titties at, I hope they doing all right.
No. You got to say fuck them titties.
No, man, I ain't petty.
Do you have a reason, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why?
One's bigger, man. Like,
See,
significantly.
That happens.
No, I used to be blind. And
This nigga went from...
my girl got braille on her titties. And the one with more, I fuck with the most.
Okay, so look, braille titties is fire.
The fire is
I
fuck.
love braille titties, bro.
Them bitches is fire.
I ain't gonna lie. We about to get a little vulgar.
Look, them bitches. Hey, I didn't know that was a thing until my girl. Them bitches hit.
Braille titties is fire.
Big fact.
That's a fact.
So
That's a full fact.
It's like,
yeah, that shit heat. I didn't know it was gonna be a difference, but nah, I fuck with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So that's why that's my favorite though.
Like, the size difference don't matter to you?
of the different titties.
It's not that noticeable.
Got you.
So no, for me.
Now, do you try to give each titty equal attention?
But it never works.
It never works.
Yeah.
It makes me feel so bad.
You can't give titties equal attention.
Whoa. I want to hear your philosophy on this.
You can't.
Why?
There's always a favorite though, right?
It's not even about a favorite. You gonna get lost in one titty before you get lost in that other one.
But then it's like, damn, there's another one.
That's what I'm saying.
So
You can't compensate what you've already done to that first titty.
yeah,
That's a good point.
It's already been
I do
done.
my best, though.
You do your best, but
You don't do your best, Jordan?
yeah,
But I
but
don't
it don't
think it's
be
close.
about that at that point, because you already like, bro, when you come up off that one and go to the next one, you be like, man, that motherfucker need to breathe anyway.
Also, if we gonna be totally honest, you start on one side.
your favorite side.
Like, you over there anyway.
You start on
like,
your
that's
favorite
where
side?
you at?
Do you start on your favorite side?
Well, maybe
Not
I do
always.
got a favorite then.
Oh shit!
No, because you just made a point. You start on one side.
You start on one side, bro.
I mean, yeah. I don't got a favorite one. I just happen to be on the right side often. I'm gonna say that.
No, I got a question. Now, titties change in the morning, don't they? And they're the best, right? In the morning.
Excuse
No,
me,
listen.
sir.
Listen.
Huh?
Ask your lady.
Excuse
Listen. Ask your
I
lady.
don't have
What
one
do I
ass.
need to ask her?
Listen. Titties in the morning are not the same titties at night.
What happens, Darren?
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes they're bigger when you first wake up. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, my excitement for them is definitely high in the morning, but I don't know if that means that they are actually factually different.
Wow, that's probably possible, but I think
Like,
no.
my excitement for them is top tier when I'm first up.
You a titty man.
No, I'm not. My lady thought I was, but I'm not. Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Oh, no, sir. Nah. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can never go to something that's not both. I can never do it again.
Oh yeah.
I can never do it again.
Before before my lady now I could, but I didn't realize how important they were now.
Yep. Yeah.
So.
When I first got with my woman, she was like, you don't pay enough attention to my titties.
Same.
Cause it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, look at that thing, bro. What are you talking about? Look at that thing.
I'm on the same boat. But now she knows for sure I'm an ass man.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, titties is all right.
Yeah. For sure.
It was just all right. Especially in the morning, dog. I don't know what it is, bro. I'm a completely different type of human being in the morning.
What do you mean by that, man?
Bro, I'm a caveman.
He discovered fire.
No, for real.
Can't control his excitement.
Big men make baby. Ooga.
No, I mean that's how you gotta be in the morning, though. It really ain't too much to be talking about.
Start that day off real proper, like.
Yep.
And it's funny because you can really never get enough of them either.
What you mean?
There's never, all right, I'm done with titties.
Right. Nah, never.
But do you think your lady ever feel like, okay, leave him alone?
No.
Never?
No.
Why would she?
Who knows?
Long as it's mutually beneficial and such. But she has told me before that when the shirt come off, it's as if I've never seen it before. It's because there's different like types. Like titties in a shirt is dope when it's titties in a shirt.
They call you.
And then like titties in a see-through, it's like, damn, that's a whole different.
Yeah.
And then you get the bare titty and you like, wow, I got so acquainted with your other forms.
Yep. Then you kind of like, I don't want to say forget.
You do
but
though.
It's like a new surprise.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I forgot that they could be cool in this method, in this manner here.
You get mad when she wear bras?
Bruh.
Yeah. Same.
The bra is legit my enemy.
But I do love when she take her bra off.
Same.
So
you rub her back when she took her bra off?
No, I rub
or her
titties.
under titty?
Yeah.
Y'all niggas.
Yeah. Dog. That's so relaxing for them. For some
Facts.
reason.
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
don't
like
know
a back
this.
rub.
Of course, nigga.
Bitch, I would do that every single time.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. That shit lit.
Shout out to work from home though.
So
It's been a minute since I seen a bra in the house. It's been a minute. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I feel I'm satisfied. This actually came up, so shout out to my wife. I was having a particularly bad day a couple weeks ago, and I was at work, and she asked if my day had gotten better, and I said no. I see a text from her. I look, pair of tits,
better day.
easily turned it around.
Wonderful.
Single-handedly, double-tittedly turned this whole day around, girl. And one of my coworkers asked me if it would have been as exciting if I had only received one tit in the pic. And I'm like, that is a weird question to ask. I probably would have been less excited.
No, I'd have been upset.
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't be upset when there's a titty though.
No, I'm upset.
No, you can't. What?
I'm upset.
And then, this is the question then, because I said I would probably be a little bit disappointed. I'd probably be a little disappointed.
I'm upset.
But she said, what if it was your favorite one? And my wife and I had just had the argument that she was calling me out that I have a favorite titty. And I was adamant that I didn't. But I knew exactly what she was talking about. So I had to at least lightly admit, there might be a favorite, but I don't want it to be that way.
Why? I was about to say, why are you so against that though?
Having a favorite titty?
Yeah.
Cause man, I don't want Righty to feel left out, bro. Like that's a great tit,
Not compared to the left.
You can't be out here disrespecting a great tit. just because there's a unicorn of a tit on the other side?
I can't imagine my lady sending me one titty though.
I couldn't either.
I'd be upset.
Like if you go pull one out, you might as well pull both of them bitches out though, right?
Yeah,
That's why I'd be upset.
how much more effort does it take to show the double tit?
That's exactly why I'd be upset, because you just didn't make this happen.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with one titty, man?
But what amazed me is the idea that this woman who had never had a conversation with me about breasts, especially my wife's, just knew. Like, she stated she asked the question as if she just knew I had a favorite.
Yeah.
And it was like, hold on, lady.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what are you talking about, favorite? And she was like, well, every guy has a favorite tit.
You know, I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead.
No, you can't freeze like that.
No, I'm not.
You can't freeze up like that.
Man. Go ahead.
Why? What is it?
I ain't gonna say it. Cause like I don't think that's the case. But I want to know. I'm gonna say this. I want to know where she heard that.
She is spoken for, and her man has a favorite tit.
I figured that.
There were 2 other women at the table, and after being asked, after the question was posed to the room, they quickly stated, yep, my man has a favorite, no question. And they even said, I have never thought about this before, but it only takes you asking the question for me to say, oh yeah, it's the right one.
Fair enough.
Does it matter if they're a tit man or not?
Not really. Why would it matter?
You're right. Because
Like, you not being a tit man doesn't mean you don't love a pair of titties.
yeah, but I would expect the tit man to have a favorite one.
Okay, I see where you're going with that, but I don't know why that would disqualify a non-tit man from having a favorite
Right.
one.
Like, but it wouldn't be shocking if an ass man didn't have a favorite titty. It would be shocking if a tit man.
Now it would be to me, because this question has been asked in my presence to at least 10 people. Because what's crazy, and this is a true story, this is all unfolding at lunch at work. Mm-hmm. And I know they're men. So I called under the pretense that it was just me in the room. Mm-hmm. And I asked this question as a poll. And they both were like, yeah. Like, of course. Yeah, I do. And it's that one. It's like, I feel like that means that we all have favorites.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, I know I got one. I told you.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I thought that was interesting. All right, let's welcome everybody back. Darian, you wanted to talk about ego?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Because me and Jordan was talking about egos last week. Yeah, last week. And it brought me up to a video of Lauren London talking about Nipsey Hussle. She was like, she didn't have to ever feed his ego. Like, she's not that type of girl. She won't do it. So, do you guys think an ego is needed? And is it beneficial having it?
Yes and yes.
Yeah, man. I think I had to agree.
Why? And then another question before you answer that. Could you be with someone who don't feed your ego?
Yes.
Even though you think...
It's not her job to feed my ego. What Lauren Lennon said was absolutely right. Relationships have an egotistical perception. You don't own anybody. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Like, so when you look at it from just a personal dynamic, like, no, it's not her job to feed my ego. Like, if she chooses to do that, that's on her. And I would just say, like, she might see me not relying on it as much or just not living in it as much, and that's why she did it. But I wouldn't be with somebody based on that.
So do you think that it's not a pertinent part of the relationship?
What, her feed my ego?
Yeah, you're saying that it's okay for it to happen. So it's not like a deal breaker or a red flag if she does. It's not specifically unattractive to you that she does. So it just simply doesn't matter as much in a relationship to you?
I think it matters depending on who your ego makes you out to be.
I agree with that too.
That's part of why it's needed. Like, you can be an egomaniac, and so it's like if somebody's just feeding that, that's clearly bad. But the difference between that and somebody who has an ego and uses it to their advantage and to their benefit is like, okay, if you set out to do something, you know in your mind you can do it. That's your ego to some degree.
So what's the difference between the egomaniac and the ego mogul?
I don't want to say one is using their powers for good and one using their powers for evil.
Can you like describe what it would look like to be an egomaniac, in your opinion?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No.
You know what? Maybe just somebody who can't, like, you can't see outside yourself with anything.
No. I want to remember that example I gave you with LeBron. You were where LeBron got injured, right?
What?
He just came back from injury.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 doctors recommended he got surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So with the game he came back, he got interviewed and was like, what happened? You were supposed to get surgery. Like, how are you able to make it back? He literally said, I went to the LeBron James of feet, and he told me not to get surgery. Is that an ego?
I said that was egotistical.
I think that's fire as fuck.
It was fire, but it was egotistical.
Yeah, I said it. I was like, it wasn't like corny, but I said he can say that because he's LeBron.
He's LeBron James, bro.
If you was like, I went to the dairy and the foot doctors, you niggas would be like, okay.
What?
He reliable as shit. Hey, the dairy and the foot doctors is reliable as fuck.
So, what would you call that situation? A situation like that?
This is egotistical, but there's nothing wrong with it. He's LeBron.
Yeah. So I think the difference between an egotistical moment and an egomaniac is that everything that you do is based, like Darian or like Jordan was saying earlier. Everything you do is based on how it affects you or how you look. Mm-hmm. So everything ends up being about you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super familiar with how ego is seen externally. Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily know the difference between an egomaniac and an ego mogul.
So what you mean, like, seen externally? Like, meaning, like, how would someone be able to, like, I guess, diagnose if someone was living in their ego?
Yeah. I don't know what it would look like for you to say that this person is behaving too much off of their ego. I only have like self-evaluations of that shit.
Do you feel like it depends on if you like that person or not?
I hope not. I think that happens a lot though.
Yeah.
I think the difference between arrogance and confidence is how much you agree with what the person is saying. And so ego looks like, you know, either they are just right and he's LeBron James, mm-hmm. or you don't think he's the shit. So he's an egomaniac. Can you believe this guy thinks that he's like, well? So maybe. I think that it could definitely be subjective in that way. Especially because when we judge people with these types of terms, you know, like narcissist or bipolar or like egomaniac, we definitely make those judgments. I think the difference is often like, do you like them?
Yeah, I think that's very important because when I use it, I know if I call someone a narcissist or something, I'm most likely either upset with them or don't like them.
Yeah.
But do you know what your ego is? Or do you know what that looks like when it comes out?
Mine, yeah.
I would love to know what mine look like.
You don't ask yourself?
No, because I can be biased.
You are also the only one to know.
You can be biased to yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I probably wasn't. Right. I didn't think about it that way. But, yeah. I was saying that in the sense to be like, why would you be? But I would.
To make myself seem better than what I am. Or to make it not seem as big as a problem as it is.
You're not talking into the mic, though.
My fault. It's been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. You didn't have to last week. My fault. But maybe I would like to think my ego is not as big as I think it is.
Right. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm not past lying to myself yet.
What you mean? You still do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want the only thing going on in my head to be criticism.
That's funny. That's very funny.
I do that too, but I come back to it and fix it. Like, be realistic. I don't want to say fix it. Be more realistic. But I know I do that, especially with my work.
Is your first instinct to lie to yourself if situations arise? Where do you get to the point where you start to lie to yourself?
When I don't feel like dealing with it.
Oh,
that's your ego.
Wow,
that's your ego.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's the exact opposite for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's when I'm done fucking dealing with it, dog. Like, I literally can't do anything. Like, criticism is my go-to. How that could have been better. But typically when it's talking to me, because I know better, as we said before, it ends up being I should have done better, not I could have. Like, my criticisms of me are, you knew you should have done this. You knew you should have behaved. Like, you knew you should have said this. So, and where it comes to lying to myself is when I'm like, that's fine, man. You did all right. I don't genuinely believe that I did all right. Like, the person telling me that I did all right doesn't actually believe that.
So mine is similar to that. So if I see something, I'd be like, is this acceptable? And I'd be like, if I want to deal with it, no. But if I don't feel like dealing with it, I'm over it right now, yeah, this'll do.
What type of things you talking about?
So, prime example, I did this little ceiling patch, and I was on this shit for like 3 days, bro. And I was just so upset with this. I was like, bro, I'm gonna fuck this. I'm just gonna paint it. And then I painted it. I was like, how does it look? I was over it, so I said, look good. But I came back the next day knowing it didn't look good to fix it. Yeah, I knew that shit didn't look good, but I was just over it. I'm over that shit. And I do the same thing with arguments sometimes. Like, I'll say something just to get this shit over with, and then I'll come back and be like, I didn't mean that. So it's the same thing. That's my habit. Like, when I don't want to deal with it, I'll lie to myself and say, this is it. This is how I feel.
This is fine.
Yeah, and it's not. What about you? How do you handle yours, or when yours come out, Jory?
I'm not going to say I don't lie to myself, but I will probably say I do it to keep myself from feeling a way, but I just don't do it a lot just because I'm overly critical of myself. So it really don't be a question like if I'm a lie to myself. It's really just be a question like, am I going to let this affect me to the point where I feel like I have to do something about it?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Like, what is a scenario where it's serious enough that you have to do something about it? And is it the ego telling you that you need to do something about it, or is it the method of lying to yourself for your benefit?
It's probably my ego telling me to do something about it. A situation would probably be like, probably just being in, like in my last relationship, like when I would get in, like we would get into like certain arguments and stuff. I might feel bad about something I did, but I'm probably not gonna really like initially think that I need to do something about that. And eventually my ego will kick in and I'll be like, all right, so you weren't wrong, but you do need to do something about that. And it's like, the thing is, I don't never feel like I'm not wrong. I'm cool with being wrong. I'm more than okay with being wrong. The thing is, like,
I'm not.
Really?
But I'm not.
I know.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not cool with it. I'm saying I'm cool with being wrong. It's just, I'm not. Like, I'm not wrong.
What you mean, though?
I thought that's where you was going.
Oh, that might have been where I was going. Yeah, I think that, yeah. Because, no, not even that, because I don't be sure. That'd be the thing. I'm never sure if how I do shit is like, not even if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like, just if it was like cool.
If that's what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm kind of like that, but mine's is a little worse. So if I realize I'm wrong, I got to prove why you're more wrong. For a little mental victory for me.
So this is like
that's my ego for sure.
I would say that's definitely.
No, I know that is. Like if I come to the conclusion, okay, I was wrong here. I have to come to a conclusion like where you were more wrong, like a bigger wrong than me, because you had to have did something to make me do this.
Yeah.
And I don't. Sometimes when it comes to arguments, I don't put enough blame on myself.
That's a fact.
That's my ego too.
That's a fact.
So
Jordan, where does the lying to yourself come in? Because you said you don't necessarily realize there's a problem at the beginning, and that you like mentally deciding that this is fine, like this is what it is. But then later on, your ego comes in, and you're like, all right, I need to fix this. I'm not wrong, but I need to fix this. Are you lying to yourself in the I'm not wrong?
No, I think I start to lie to myself when I start to feel like, somewhat to how Darren was explaining, like how you get fed up, but it's not even that I'll be fed up. It's like, all right, my feelings are superseding like any good that can be done here at this point. It's like me, it's literally me lying to myself, like, all right, nigga, you don't give a fuck no more. So fuck everybody else and what the fuck they talking about. Like, that's just me. And I know that's me just saying, like, you wrong as hell for feeling like that. But I'm finna feel like that. I don't give a shit. The fight for me initially is me trying to figure out, like, okay, is how I feel towards the situation. Is that wrong? Even though I may be completely wrong for what I did. If I try to do right and I was still wrong, am I wrong for feeling like that? Or should I just shut the fuck up? And that be the initial battle. But after I get to a point where it's like, okay, I might have apologized. I might have just been like, you know what? I ain't mean to do that shit, whatever. Once that doesn't do anything, all right, I don't give a shit anymore. And I know I might still be wrong as hell.
I feel like that's wrong. No, are you, just so I'm clear, when you say your apologies and shit don't work, as in fix the situation, like they're still upset or whatever, then you don't care no more because they're still upset about it, even though you apologize and all that?
Yes.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
And I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, me lying to myself in that moment, like accepting that is wrong, is me just saying, like, all right, how I feel, I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. I feel like I did what all I can. Yep. Mm-hmm. I felt that plenty of times. I still do it. I do that shit.
And you're saying that's those are instances of like blatant ego from y'all?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At first I was confused because at first I thought you was saying like your ego was making you do the right thing. Mm-mm. Yeah, my ego make me go crazy.
Yeah. My ego is most active during an argument where I feel like someone is intentionally egging me on, or either they're intentionally egging me on or dismissing me. As soon as you start dismissing me, I'm like, now I'm going to state that I'm right and that you shouldn't even be in this conversation with me how wrong you are.
You're stupid.
I'm right and you're stupid.
What I also learned about my ego, it only comes out around people I love.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't really have. The thing is too, you would have to bruise my ego to see it. That'd be the thing.
How does one bruise your ego? Dismissal?
I would probably say not. I don't know if this falls under that category, but maybe not feeling heard. Mm-hmm. I would probably say that is the number one thing. The number one, because I don't feel like I necessarily carry it with me. I use my ego as a way to push me forward. I don't use it as a way to project on the people. And I think that's the difference between like the ego moment and the ego maniac. It's like if you projecting that, you know what I'm saying? If you pushing that on the people, you're overly in that. If you don't carry it, if you have your moments where it comes out, that's normal as fuck. Everybody.
Like, I know I'm better than this.
Yes.
I know I'm better than this. I won't accept this performance out of me because I know I'm better than this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I use my ego to hurt niggas. Keep it being with you.
Yeah, well, that was a great transition.
No, for real.
Talk to me.
So when I said it only comes out with people I love, like you said, you either bruised my ego or you took me there. Like you took me there somehow. Like, and maybe this my ego right now saying they had to do something for this to come out of me, because it's possible I just overreacted over some shit. Like, but yeah, like I got to get even when my ego come out. And that's, I think, its only purpose for me. That's why I'm on the fence of I don't think ego is good. Or again, I'm like you said, just using it wrong.
Why don't you feel like it's good though? Just because you use yours to hurt people?
Yeah. So that's why I didn't think it was good. Like I don't use my ego for anything else.
You don't use it to push yourself to get shit done?
No.
You just told us that you did.
Well, I'm a motivated person though.
What I'm saying is the example that you gave, the first example you gave of lying to yourself where your ego came in, you said it was fine. You left, you did the job, and then you came back and you redid the job better.
But I used my ego there because I was tired of dealing with something.
Right.
So not to push me forward.
I think I can understand the evaluation that you can see how negative ego can be, thus ego is negative. But I think you can see how that maybe doesn't work 100% of the time.
Yeah. I'm clearly using mine wrong though.
How do y'all feel like people use I don't even know if I want to. Well, yeah, I'll get into
Take it there.
Because I don't know if how y'all can really answer it without really getting too deep into your own situations. But how do y'all feel like that plays in relationship sense?
My ego makes me look like I know everything and I'm always right. That's
in your
what
relationship?
Yeah, that's what my lady tells me. I can't be wrong. And I know that's true because I always try to prove why she is more wrong, and we don't focus on the wrong I did. We focus on why I think she is more wrong. It ruins it. It ruins it for me. My art. It damages my relationship, my ego.
It can.
And I really don't think my fiance has an ego.
She does. She doesn't use it with you.
And okay, so if you saying that, and I feel like my ego only comes out with people you love, that would make me just start second guessing it. Then
second guessing what?
Like
What, just because you don't,
she's not using hers,
but you only use yours for
Yeah.
people that you love.
So
you treating it as if everybody is like you here.
Yeah, right?
That's not reasonable.
I know that. Like, but I feel like it's such a superpower not to be using your ego. Like,
Yeah, facts.
It is. Because people live in it. You have to understand, to some degree, how you depict yourself on social media is part of your ego. That's why I said she doesn't use hers. If she was a single woman, she would have no choice but to live in her ego. Why? Because she lives in a world where men are constantly approaching her. Now she gets to discern. She gets to pick and choose when, how, where she gets to deal with these people. And that is a sense of power. You get attention on social media. You get attention from people in person. And then you have a personal life where you control the universe that you're in. And to some degree, that creates and promotes an ego. Now, that could be relative to just her. That could be relative to just anything. But everybody has their own dynamic. That's just an example of how different things can be.
now, me not caring about social media, is that a part of my ego? Like, cause you see, okay, you follow me on the. I don't post a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that say about my ego? If you think people show their ego on the internet or whatever.
I would say it just says that you have a social media to connect with the people, like similar to what Savon got social media for. I feel like what we all got social media for, like we there, like we using it for what you use it for. It's when you get to like making it a part of you.
Yeah, which is why I think I still agree with you. I think even with as little as Darian and I use social media, I still would say that it's plenty to show the ego. You still portray yourself as the you that you want to be. not necessarily as the full you that you are. Like, as real as I keep it, and I keep it stupid fucking real on IG.
Stupid.
But it's still not everything that I am. Mm-hmm. But it's the parts that I definitely feel are
important
in public. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think you're right about that. I never thought about that before, but yeah, that's a depiction of your ego. That's what you want people to know you for. If you want people to know you for this part of you.
When you watch how people conduct themselves. We've talked about this. We internet niggas. Just people how they conduct themselves on social media. Like, they carry that into real life, and they think it's tangible. So it has to be a part of the ego. Because as intangible as it is, that's how intangible your ego is. So if you're carrying that and coupling it, just imagine
how not real it is. You're saying,
literally.
Wow. Hold on, that's deep as fuck though, because wow. So that would mean that even the positive part of it is like a placebo effect.
Literally,
you have the motivation within you. You have the ability to act as motivated, but you need this intangible piece. This piece that's not, quote unquote, not real. Mm-hmm. That's really crazy.
And it's not bad. It's just that's the world we live in. It can be.
It can be.
It absolutely can be.
It's like the internet. It's like the internet.
It's a tool.
Wow.
It's not real, but it can be.
Wow. You know, yeah, that's hard. Look at you, Jordan.
No, don't say that like that, man. Don't say it like that, man.
Look at you go.
You feel like you was talking to me.
Rest in peace, past day. What? What you say, man?
You feel like he was talking to me?
Why you say that?
Because that's something you said to somebody who's slow.
No, that was not. No, that was fire though, bro. That was fire. I like how you carried us through that shit too. And
no problem, man.
The way that I think ego affects my relationship is it makes arguments that don't matter. Mm-hmm. So because I'm so right, and I'm speaking from that perspective, like I'm in an argument and my ego is a screaming because I'm so right, and you're not even willing to accept that I'm right. I'm gonna do this until you accept that I'm right. Mm-hmm. Like this argument, I don't care that we're both upset. I don't care that we're not going to enjoy this day that means so much to me. I don't care. Let's blow it up because I'm so right. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, and it doesn't take long. Afterwards, it's like, what does this offer? What value does this disagreement have to your relationship? I believe in arguing in your relationship. I believe in having disagreements and being invested in those agreements or disagreements enough to be passionate about it. Mm-hmm. But specifically when they matter. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah.
If we don't agree on how we treat this family member, if we don't agree on this family member, we need to know. Like you need to know why I feel this way about the family member, and I need to know why you don't. Because this household is going to be either they're going to be welcome here or they're not type shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if it's something that matters to the relationship, have it out. But ego makes it to where in this household, the fact that thing's on the couch right now, like whatever, like it could be whatever my ego gets involved in. If I feel like I'm so right and you're not hearing me, yeah, let's act like you just tried to kick my mom out.
Do you have the capacity to take your ego on that road, down that long road?
What you mean?
To fix that?
It's never gonna be fixed. It's just one of those things where, and I probably was speak more to Savon on this than you, only because he's already where you trying to get to. Do you feel like you can take your ego down that road and not per se, I wouldn't say let it die, but you have that fight with your ego to concede those arguments.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I argue a whole lot less than I really want to. And it's because I don't want to for long.
Don't that shit make your eye twitch, though?
Bro, if I were to tell you that it was easy, I'd be so lying to you, dog. And sometimes I have to, and this is the conceit that I've made is that I will ask, or no, sorry, the concession that I've made is that I will ask a less aggressive question to see if that disagreement, if I'm the only one that cares about this disagreement or not. Did you think that was did you think that was like was that kosher? Were you trying to be an asshole when you did that?
Do you feel like you can do that with your need to be right?
Yeah.
What about you?
I actually battle with mine. So you see how he say he asked a question to me? I go silent.
You stonewall.
When I realize this could be my ego, either make me feel some type of way, or I'm about to say something I should not be saying, I'll go quiet.
You stonewall.
And what I love about my lady is she's starting to catch up on it. Like, and I fuck with that. But yeah, I go stonewall for sure.
Catch up on it in what?
She realized something just happened, and she knew I was gonna do something I shouldn't do, and she appreciate that. Like, she'll just rub my hand and was like, "Are you feeling okay?" Like on certain situations, like, you feeling?
Yo,
that's beautiful, bro.
Swear.
That's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So it's like I see you trying.
That's
wow.
That's wonderful, bro. That's wonderful.
Is that her feeding your ego?
To a degree, I would say yes, it is.
Wow.
I say no. I think that's her helping me with my ego.
Why do you feel that way?
Because in that moment, I know I'm tripping. And I feel like her gesture is like
acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Ted, that's fire.
So, what's stopping you? So let's say you in that moment, and let's say you want to say something. Let's say it could be something. It could be something as small as you watching something, and she just came, and literally as you turned it on, she just, babe, I want to talk to you about something. And it's been one of them days.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us.
We are those people too. I'm not gonna lie. I am that person too on a regular basis. She be 4 minutes into a TikTok and I'm like, yo, look at this.
Are you able to not only stop yourself from saying something that you want to say, but to address her in a way that's not going to not even be less defensive, but address her in a way that will probably lead to y'all having a conversation instead of her asking, are you okay?
No, I'm still at the point she asking, am I okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Because again, I get stonewall.
Do you feel like you could get to that point?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because it went from like, bitch, what? Like, not exactly that, but like,
no,
it went from that to like a sign, like, oh, this bitch, and now it's like, okay, she just wants some attention, right? So it's like I see the progress.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say something, man. I'm gonna speak for Darian right now.
Right.
Look, no, he don't hate people. Nah, he don't hate women, bro. He be just because what he said, I ain't gonna lie. Every man did thought that like this bitch.
Like,
even if he ain't say it, do not act like he ain't ever thought it. And if you feel like he ain't never thought it, that might be your ego, because you get on everybody's nerves too.
Right. Yeah, man. And look, as the guy who rarely puts himself in this position,
bro, crying,
I guarantee y'all he has thought, this bitch. I guarantee it. I guarantee
he has thought it, because I know you have thought, this motherfucker this nigga, this motherfucker, whatever you call him.
That's real, bro. No, that's real life. We're not about to hide from fact.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's real life.
So
I'm not going to claim that Darian doesn't hate women, but I can definitely say that wasn't a moment of woman hatred.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It wasn't a moment of that.
I see the progress of me getting better, so I know I can get to that point.
Yeah, facts. I think this conversation kind of put a spotlight on that for me, because I often just think that my ego of knowing the I don't know if I want to call it the positive part, but the part that requires progress. Like Jordan, you were talking about how you use it to propel yourself forward. Mm-hmm. I think the part of my ego that requires progress is too active. Like it's hyperactive. Mm-hmm. The criticism is too much. I'm harder on myself than you should be on any human being.
That's how I feel about me too.
And I think that's what I focus on when I think about ego, which of course is just a circular reasoning there. Like, of course I think that because it's me being critical. But having this conversation makes me realize that I've gotten better in not just my relationship with my wife, but my loved ones. Like, and I think you could attest to the Savon that you knew in high school was way less reasonable.
Oh yes. I even gotta finish that, man. Look, man. Be my guy, man.
Fuck him up.
It ain't even that, man. It's just like this nigga unreasonable, man. Like him saying him being more reasonable now was the perfect words for that.
Yeah. And I think I don't look at that often. I don't take inventory of that often. I don't take inventory of the work that I'm doing or the work that I've done, because that's not where I can be as critical as I want to be.
So I got a question. So we know there's different types of egos. Is there a certain type of egos that y'all just refuse to deal with? Like not interested even associating with?
Do you mean egos externally?
Yeah.
I think there are personality traits that I don't want to associate with. And like I said, I don't know how to attribute ego if it's not me.
I would just say I can't deal with the ego projection. And the thing about it is you have to learn, you do have to develop an ability of discernment to know like when someone is projecting their ego.
I asked you that because when you said like people's social media kind of shows what type of ego they have, and I know what type of people based off their social media I don't even want to deal with.
Right.
Like if your social media look like your shit don't stink, stay over there, please.
Really? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
You don't think you can forgive somebody for doing the things that you don't necessarily like?
Not even forgive. Grace. This like the biggest, I would probably say, man, the number one thing that allows people to let their egos flourish, to look at things like how he just explained, like how you just asked him that question, it's just the lack of grace. It's literally that.
I definitely lack that, but I just know I like people who live in the real world.
I do too, but I understand, like, it's just like me being single, bro, and dating right now. It's like I lead with the grace because I already know, like, I may be at a level of understanding that somebody else may not be at.
That's real. That's real.
And so me living in that real world and wanting somebody else who lives in that real world, I'm going to come across people who don't.
So now there's a question that you made me want to ask earlier.
What?
But I can't. Right. This is too perfect a time for this.
Okay.
How do you balance that self-critical part of you with knowing that you might be further along on this journey than somebody else?
Man, it's hard as fuck. It's
I think I know how you do it.
What?
You text the chat and ask us if you tripping or not.
No, man.
Because you do that a lot. And I feel like just for like validation, you do that.
No, I don't need the validation. A lot of times I'm asking y'all because I'm giving too much grace. And that's what I did in those situations.
That's fire.
I actually, in hindsight and respectfully to y'all, I felt like I should have never asked y'all because I knew I wasn't fucking tripping. The thing is, like, because I allowed so much grace was because I thought I was tripping. But to answer your question, it's hard as hell, but you really have to, like, I have to ask certain questions. And I have to really, like, going back to your statement about speaking for women, I hate that it's even like that perceived that way, or just, and even sometimes that I do that. But that comes from just being overly analytical and having to be, because this is what I have to deal with. Like, I'm obviously not out here dating men, so it's like, all right, if I'm dating women and I'm seeing them at this constant rate, I have to learn their patterns. I have to learn their mannerisms. And I would hope on the opposite side of the spectrum that someone else is doing that same work.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's surprising to me.
Why?
The only reason you got to do that work is because people are not going to tell you what they're thinking. People are not going to tell you how they feel. I would hope that me being somebody that you don't ever have to wonder what I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. I will tell you specifically. I will answer every one of your questions specifically. Mm-hmm. I will tell you how I'm feeling. I will tell you how you made me feel. Mm-hmm. I will ask you genuinely how I made you feel, how you feel about a situation. And I will base everything off of what you tell me about how you feel and how I feel for real and how I told you. I'm not going to hide any of that shit from you. I would hope that neither one of us have to do any discerning outside of trying to get ahead of hurting somebody that you already care about. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I would hope that we both have to do work in just being open, like just being honest about how it is this interaction is going. So it's surprising to me to hear that you, because I agree that you got to do that work. Mm-hmm. I agree that you have to do that work. I agree that men have to do that work. I agree that it seems to me that men have to do that work more so.
Yeah.
But I would hope that no one does. I would hope that if this, let's say 5 encounters with me. After 5 encounters, I would hope that I have to do way less work in figuring out what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. I would hope that you have to do the same.
But see, that's the thing too, and it's almost twofold. You have to do that. Like, I do it with encounter, but I'll also do it by person.
Right. You got to.
Of course,
you got to.
It's tough as hell. Of course, we have to do it more so than them. It's just me. The way I look at it is that, yes, we should be in the middle on that openness level. I'm willing to be in that space.
Right.
The problem is because either people don't know how, they don't want to, or they just don't have any like concept of how that works.
Yes.
But is it also possible, like, sometimes it's just too soon? Some people feel that way?
I know that people feel that way.
Yes.
So
I know that people, and I know that there are people that I had this conversation with before, and I think, Jordan, you have a similar, I won't say that it's like this, but you have a similar connotation about it. It's, you can't be open with everybody.
Yes.
You can't be honest with everybody. And I think there's an idea that, you know, like you said, the too soon thing comes from the fact that I don't even know if I can trust you with this information. And I think I can understand that. I can understand that
when it comes, like, you, in terms of dating. Fully understand that. Like, not give you my address and this on first link. Like, you
not even that.
A serial killer.
Everybody shouldn't get access. Like, the access you give, the access you, like, we have to you is not the access that your coworkers have to you. It's not the access that some dude that hired you to work on the house is gonna have to you. And that applies to dating. Because it applies to everything. So it's like, you really want to control that access, because what you don't understand is that when you give somebody access to that, you thinking you doing them a favor. In reality, like, you might be fucking yourself over. You thinking you helping them out or giving you a game plan or a guide to how to deal with you. In reality, you could be fucking yourself over and giving them a game plan on how to do it.
Can you explain? Like, how was that?
Just if you ever see people like on them posts, they be like, well, I explained my hurt to somebody and they did it again type shit. Like, that is as plain as it can be, but it's just as simple as like, if you don't trust a person, or if you can trust a person to just be morally respectful to you, and you tell them a piece of information that is something that's just very close to you, you playing it hella close to the chest, they may not do anything with this now because they have no reason to. But it's something, the people expose their feelings over small misunderstandings, and so let that situation come to rise. They expose how they really feel about what you told them. Then what?
But sometimes I feel like that's comes with you not accepting it yourself.
It does. It can to some degree. But let's say you do accept it yourself. Are you still to feel wrong for somebody wronging you? Like, are you not entitled to some degree to feel hurt by somebody wronging you with something that you, even though you gave them to them?
Yes, but I think it's easier to deal with that person because you accept it already. It's like, okay, you're clearly not for me.
Yeah.
So I won't deal with you like you're for me.
Right.
So, but when it's compared to like something like where you didn't accept it, it's like you feel like that person owe you now.
Of course. Well, but that's
or
the thing
you feel
too.
like you lost something.
Yes.
Like you lost a secret. Like you lost something. Like Jordan said, you was holding it tight to you. Like you, yeah. I definitely see that.
But what you just said though, no, that was a secret. What did you just say?
When I said
they owe you now.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do stuff like that though too. They'll tell you stuff in efforts of you getting that ownership. Like, oh, I get some kickback from this in some way.
Yeah, I was even that's what I was advocating for. Like, I will honestly tell you how I feel because that's how I have to be. That's what I have. Like, I give you that, and now you know how you affect me, which is, we all want that.
Yes.
When we're interacting with other human beings, that's what we want. We want to know how this is really going. And I can tell you how this is going on my side. You can only know how it's going on your side. I can tell you. And if I'm honest, you'll know how to behave in the future to get similar reactions.
If you want to.
And exactly. And all I'm asking in return, and I am saying, like, I will trade you me being honest for you being honest. Now, don't get me wrong. If you, like, I will still read into it because I know people are not as open to being honest as I am. So I'll still do the discernment.
That is such a beautiful trait too, when you really look at the relationship as a whole. If y'all both can be open and know that they're open.
It takes two people willing to not only just be open, but willing to, like, it's a respect and trust that go along with that. Like,
can you describe the trust?
The trust is
knowing they're not lying to you?
No, and that's what people think the trust is. With everything, especially relationships, that's not it. I need to be able to trust that when we had this conversation, people are going to judge. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But can you take this information, can you digest it, and can we still remain in the same space?
Can you be reasonable about the information that I give you?
Yes. And can you remain in this space, not just in a forever sense, but like, can we leave this space and come back? The trust is like, can you create the safe space for us? Because it's not only just one person that has shit to share. Both of us have shit to share. Let's meet in this middle, this safe space. Let's have whatever words and conversation we need to have, and let's leave it there. And let's leave it from it knowing, like, all right, we good. Like, we're completely good here.
Now, I got a question for you on this, both of you guys. So let's say you share some information with someone and they don't take it that well, but they're trying to get back to where y'all was at. Is that enough for you guys?
Depends on
to get back to the normal.
What do you mean by they didn't take it well?
Great question. Great fucking question.
Kind of treat you differently, but they don't mean to. That's just how they're reacting. But they're working to get back to the same whatever.
Bro,
y'all used to have.
empathize so much with not reacting well to information that you don't have control over. I empathize so much that if someone doesn't react well to what I say, I don't even blame them. Like, you know what, man? I get it. Like, I get it. I don't like it. And I may behave specifically to show that I don't like it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, maybe I'm a little more, like, if I see you treat me different because of this information that I gave you, then I might fall back a little bit. Mm-hmm. But if you come to me and you like, look, I'm trying to get back in that space, I'd be like, did you realize that you reacted poorly to the information? Because if so, I totally understand. Like, I actually totally understand that.
So is that gesture just enough for you?
Enough for me to what?
Realize that person is still for you, I guess.
Allow them back.
You can trust them or whatever.
Yeah, I would be willing to risk it again in that instance. Almost universally. Like, and that's only because if you can realize that you did it, if you can realize that you didn't react well to that, that's better than I was able to do when I didn't react well.
Gotcha.
Like, I am the person who did not get let back in after not reacting well. And I know that I was fucking up.
Gotcha.
So, but you feel some sort of remorse towards yourself, so you allow that grace.
Facts.
Okay. That's
empathy,
fair.
bruv. That's it, man.
That's fair. Nah, Darren. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It ain't.
That wall is up, ain't it?
It ain't even about the wall. It's I can respect the fact that you may not react well in your initial reaction. Like, I can give you that pass. But, and I do to some degree feel the same way as Savon, but it's not for the same reason. For me, it's not even about like me react, like, because I don't feel like I have knee jerk like reactions. Like, I really try to like digest it before I just go ahead and jump out the window with some shit. If somebody really telling me something like that. So, if I did, I totally get it. And I'll give somebody that grace. But I don't feel like you get back in.
Really?
No.
I definitely understand that.
Because I feel like how you handle it does play a part. But I feel like when we had that conversation, this is just me being me. I'm sure I made sure you were as comfortable as you could possibly be before we had this. I tried at least to make sure if it was gonna take you there, it was gonna be a light ride. You know what I'm
Jordan,
saying?
you can only control so much.
Yeah, I know.
And sometimes it can just be like, my nigga, what? Like,
they can.
So
especially with the reason that you're making it as comfortable as you can. The reason that you want it to be a soft ride is because you know that this is a possibility.
Right.
Like, you're almost, man, this is going to sound more aggressive than I mean it to, but I honestly don't know another way to say it. You're almost inviting this risk.
Yeah,
You are almost... You're almost accepting the risk that you're taking. You're almost opening the door for a disappointing reaction.
And what I don't like is they have to handle this perfectly, or they can't be in this space anymore with you.
No, that's not fair.
We're not saying that. No, we're not saying that.
The prompt that you posed was they didn't handle it well. There's a lot between handling it well or not handling it well and handling it perfectly.
Yeah. Because then this is the thing too. That's so subjective to everybody's own scenario. Like how perfect they want it to be. It rainbows to one person, fucking pot to go to the next person. Like you never know. But it's not even off that. It's just like, man, it'd be hard for me to like revert from what I've already seen and dealt with.
Yeah.
And then it's like also too, because it's like I can give you that pass and I might even try to over explain or just try to give as much information or whatever, try to figure out how to bring this person back down. If that's where you fly off to after that, I can't do shit else with it after that. I can't.
For me, I would feel like it has to depend on the relationship we had prior.
That too. That's what I mean by comfortability, like bringing it, because I wouldn't have those conversations with just some fly-by person.
Sure.
So I feel like if we've reached that level of comfortability with each other and I've had this conversation, and you react a little wild, yeah, I may feel hella hesitant to let you back in my space. That's just me.
Gotcha. I feel you in that. I understand.
That's real, man. My ego is telling me that everyone's gonna hit us up at the Overly Opinionated Podcast on Instagram, at the OO Pod Boys on Twitter, the Overly Opinionated Pod at gmail.com for the geezers. And we really appreciate y'all being here. These last few episodes been longer episodes, and we've been trying to give a nice mix of real deep shit and just niggas chopping the shit up. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving this new dynamic that we got. This new this new trinamic that we got.
Hey,
yeah. We really appreciate y'all being here, and we will see y'all next Wednesday.
Shout out to y'all, man.
For sure.